thinking about it because I always say that characters are the most important things for me in stories, but I was recently reading a book that I really like with a character that I really like. And I was finding myself not necessarily super wanting to turn the pages. Hello everyone and welcome back to Mariana Mas Books. My name is Mariana and today I am here with a bookish discussion topic that I have been thinking for a while. If you watch my channel for a certain period of time, you have probably heard me refer to myself as a character-driven reader. What that means for me is not that I will like any novel that is character focused. What I mean is that in any given story, the most important part for me are the characters, and the characters are what keeps me going with a story. So I could have the most plot driven book in the world, but I will be focusing on the characters and what the characters are going through, even if it's not super in depth, just by the fact that I am attached to that character, that I care about the character, and that things are happening to that character. That's what I am focused on. And I was thinking about it because I always say that characters are the most important things for me in stories, but I was recently reading a book that I really like with a character that I really like. And I was finding myself not necessarily super wanting to turn the pages, and I was wondering why that is, because it's a character I really love. So in theory, I should be wanting to turn the pages just for that fact alone. My friend Cara at Wild Book Garden did a wrap up for the project we did in February, where she was talking about The Curse of Chalion, which is a book that I recommended to her, and she was saying how The Curse of Chalion is a slow book in terms of plot, but it is also a page turner because she cared about the characters. So she was talking about how there are some books that can be page turnery when you care about what is happening to the characters, and that I completely agree. I think that maybe that would have been a good summary for what I was trying to explain all the beginning part of the video. And I'm mentioning it because that is what my mind was on when I was reading this book that I'm telling you about, where I was wondering, why am I not wanting to turn the pages? Why is this no longer a page turner when it was previously, due to the fact that I love this character? And I suddenly realized something that I have known for a long time, but I had never made the specific connection, which is that the most important part for me are the character relationships, friendships, mentors, students, teachers, I don't know, co-workers, colleagues, family. You could have, I don't know, 3 points of views with 3 characters that I love, but if there are no relationships to focus, even if there are 3 characters that I love, I eventually will stop caring as much. In a book like that, what will keep me going would be the prose or the themes of the book, but it wouldn't be a page turner. I would take longer to finish the book. And so in this particular book that I'm talking about, we suddenly don't have as much character relationships because of the nature of the story. It turns more into a character analysis without the character interacting with others. And so that led me to thinking about many other things, types of books that I like, types of books that I don't like. For instance, I was thinking of literary fiction, where I have read some literary fiction that I like, but it's not my go-to, it's not my favorite. And a lot of literary fiction is this like in-depth analysis of characters. You are often following one character going through life, and I had never stopped to think about why I don't like those types of stories or why they don't attract to me. And I think it's because this type of story, or nihilistic characters, there are no relationships in those books. It's just following one person going through life, doesn't care about anything. They're just going through the motions of life, super quiet. It's boring for me because there are no character relationships. That made me then think of short stories. And for instance, novellas, I prefer longer books. In a longer book, you have more time to develop those relationships. Now, there are exceptions, and there are authors who are masterful at character and character relationships, and they can write a super short book, they can write a short story and immediately make me care about a relationship between characters, whatever type of relationship. Even for instance, in the Book of Swords, there is a short story by KJ Parker. It's literally a short story. There is only dialogue between a blacksmith. Is that the name of the people who make swords? It, I think it is. It's a blacksmith and a young man who comes to him to buy a sword. And that's the whole story. I loved it. And that is a type of relationship. The client and the blacksmith. Like, even that can be developed in a way that makes it interesting for me. And there is a story by Ken Liu, who is recognized as a really great short story writer. People really adore his stories. I didn't like his story. I didn't like his story, and I realized that it's because I didn't care about the main character, and there were zero relationships to follow. There wasn't anything for me to care about in the story. I don't care how brilliant your ideas are if you don't make me care about them. And the way you make me care about them is through character relationships, character dynamics. I love long scenes with a lot of dialogue. When I'm reading fantasy and I'm in the middle of a long dialogue and it gets interrupted by an action sequence, I hate it. Why am I being interrupted from this super fun, fascinating scene to go to like a battle or something? Anyway, I think it's interesting to think about. I had always thought that I needed romance in books to really care about them, and I have been realizing that that's not true. While I do love romance and I do like to be having a sprinkle of romance throughout, I don't need it in every single book. What I do need are character relationships. That's all I wanted to talk about today. As I said, it was just a bookish musing. I would love to hear in the comments what you think about it, how you read. Do you also focus on characters or character relationships? Or do you not care about either of those? I would love to hear in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. I will leave it at that. I will see you in another bookish video soon. And in the meantime, I wish you happy reading.